New York City mayor calls for probe as many wait for power in the heat. New York APU Mayor Bill de Blasio called for an investigation Monday of power outages that came at the end of this weekend's oppressive heat, saying he no longer trusts utility Con Edison after it decided to turn off power to thousands of customers. Around 30,000 customers in Brooklyn were taken off power Sunday, so the utility could make repairs and prevent a bigger outage, de Blasio had said earlier. On Monday, he offered a blistering assessment of that decision. De Blasio said the private company is not Con. Messages were sent to Con Ed seeking comment. De Blasio's remarks came as Con Ed was working to restore power to about 20,000 customers, many of them in southeast Brooklyn. Their power was the utility said in an emailed statement that it was working to restore power to everyone by the afternoon. Like much of the East Coast, New York City experienced temperatures in the high 90s over the weekend and felt much hotter with the humidity. Temperatures were De Blasio said that New York City Emergency Management was adding personnel on the ground in southeast Brooklyn, including at nursing homes and adult care facilities, to respond to emergencies and keep people safe. One of two senior facilities affected by the outage had its power back, and generators were being sent to the other, de Blasio tweeted after midnight. Meanwhile, de Blasio told reporters the city still does not have answers in the wake of outages a week ago that crippled the heart of Manhattan, knocking out power businesses and residents for more than 3 hours along a 30-block stretch. I am Government. Andrew Cuomo, we. Early Monday, the utility's online outage map showed that just under 20,000 people still did not have power. In an emailed statement, Cuomo also said he directed the State Department of Public Service to widen its investigation into last week's blackout in Manhattan to include Sunday's outages in Brooklyn. Equipment failure. This story has been corrected to show that 30,000 people in Brooklyn were taken off power Sunday, not 20,000. Search for location/city.